A woman like you is my son's girlfriend. I don't approve.
His mother, who happened to run into me alone with my fiancé, spoke rudely to me on our first meeting.
You filthy woman, I'll wash you down.
His mother said, and picked up a cup of tea from the table. I had no idea that such a terrible behavior awaited me. I had just received an engagement ring from him. My name is Grace. I am single, 33 years old this year, and I work at a clothing store founded by my father. My father's company is what is called a clothing discount store, and it has grown to the stage where it now has stores all over Japan. I have been working as a sales clerk at the company's main store in New York for the past 15 years. Perhaps the customer service business suits my nature. My father trusts me as a salesperson, but recently he often asks me if I am married yet. Being 33 years old and single, I have been working all the time and have never had a man in my life. My parents must be worried about me. I also wanted to reassure my parents, but I have not had any good encounters, probably due to the fact that I work in an all-female workplace, and I have not been able to meet anyone. But recently, I met a man who worked as a salesman for a subcontracting factory who came in and out of the store. His name is William, and his family runs a factory that handles men's clothing, and he has decided that he will eventually become the successor to the company. William started coming in and out of our store, and at first it was just to say hello. But gradually we got to know each other better, and we often went out to eat together. We started going out together on our days off, and a few months after we met, we started dating. After about 6 months had passed, and our relationship was going well, one day on my birthday, we were having dinner together.
Grace, I want you to accept this.
Saying this, William handed me a small package. What? This is a ring. To my surprise, what William offered me was a famous brand diamond ring.
We've only been dating for 6 months, but I want you to marry me.
It was a sudden proposal. To be honest, I was surprised because it was unexpected. But I was also in a serious relationship, and my feelings were the same as his. Thank you. I look forward to marrying to you. I accepted William's proposal, gratefully accepted the ring, and we became engaged. A few days later, after work, William and I met again at a coffee shop near his house. We decided to talk about our engagement and many other things about the future. First of all, we talked about greeting each other's parents. Neither William nor I had told our parents that we were dating until now, but we decided to formally report our engagement and greet them. I was feeling a little buoyant, thinking that this would put my parents at ease. As we were talking about when we should go and what clothes we should wear, I noticed a woman approaching William and me.
Oh, it's William. I didn't know you came here too.
She looked about the same age as my parents. She approached our table and said to William,
I didn't know Mom is here too. That's a coincidence.
I was a little surprised at his response of Mom. I was so surprised to see her before I had a chance to greet her properly. I thought to myself that I had to greet her right away.
Who is she?
His mother asked him with a dubious look on her face.
Let me introduce you to Grace, who I'm dating now. I was going to come and say hello to you, but now I have to introduce her to you first.
He smiles at me to relieve my tension. I stood up on the spot and bowed to his mother. Nice to meet you. My name is Grace. I barely managed to utter a few words of greeting in my haste. I felt a little ashamed of myself for not being able to say something smart and thoughtful, even though it was a sudden matter. William's mother looked at me from top to bottom as if she was sizing me up, and then said, I'm sorry to bother you. With that, she sat down on the seat beside William.
You and William are going out.
The look on her face was not the smiling one she had shown to William earlier, but a stern one, as if she was trying to intimidate me. Yes, that's right. But, I replied, feeling almost overwhelmed by the atmosphere.
I can't believe it.
William's mother, who had just met me for the first time, said something like that without even returning my greeting. She seemed to be displeased with the words. I knew immediately that she did not have a good impression of me.
William is the future heir to the company, you know? You're my son's girlfriend, huh? Are you kidding?
Had I done something to give a bad impression? As I was feeling uneasy, his mother continued to talk down to me. It was as if she was trying to say that I was not a good match for William.
What are you talking about, Mom? She's the one who I've chosen. Don't talk like that.
William quickly followed up. I myself don't understand why she would say such a thing to me on our first meeting. But his mother didn't hear William's restraint and folded in further.
You do know that we run a factory, right? Don't tell me you're just trying to become a Cinderella.
She seemed to think that I had ulterior motives for approaching William. She must have thought that I was a woman who approached him for his fortune. I understood that was why she was acting this way. In order to deny this, I explained the circumstances of our relationship. William asked me to go out with him, and he proposed to me the other day. I showed her the shiny ring on the ring finger of my left hand, but this action backfired. It got his mother all heated up.
Hey, what's with that ring? Did you and William go that far? That's impossible.
Even if she said it was impossible, the fact was that William had asked me to marry him. When I was at a loss for words to reply,
You've got to be kidding. I will never give William to a woman like you.
his mother was hysterical. What in the world is it about me that she doesn't like so much after meeting me for the first time? I don't know why, but being rejected like this by my fiancé's mother made me almost cry, and I looked down.
Mom, don't do this. Why would you say that to her on our first meeting? What the hell did Grace do to you?
He, too, seemed bewildered by his mother's attitude and tried desperately to stop her. But she probably didn't like the fact that William defended me, and her blaming me remarks become even worse. His mother began to complain about my appearance.
What's so good about this country bumpkin? She is a dirty woman with lackluster clothes and face.
She said this to William. William and I were both speechless at her words.
You really are a poor woman. I don't like it when rats like you come into my house. Let me wash you so you'll feel a little better.
She took advantage of my silence to say whatever she wanted. Then she took me by surprise. She took a glass of tea from the table and splashed it in my face. My favorite blouse, which I had picked out for the occasion, was stained brown, and William was standing across from me with his mouth hanging open. I was beyond the boiling point of anger. I'm still your son's fiancé. You did a terrible thing to me. I don't know if you will regret doing this to me. From the moment we met, she was rude to me, and then she did this to me. Even though she was his mother, I couldn't forgive her.
Mom, what are you doing? Enough. I don't know why you don't like her, but this is too much.
William, too, seemed even angrier than I was at his mother's sudden behavior, holding her arm stiffly and glaring at her.
Grace, I'm sorry. Are you all right? Let's just borrow some wipes for now and get the hell out of here.
William is worried about me as he holds his mother down. I felt relieved that he was on my side, but to think that such a person is his mother, I was honestly terrified.
What's the matter with you, you short-tempered woman? William is overreacting by getting so angry. It was just a slip of the hand.
His mother, perhaps a little intimidated by William's rebuke and mine, reacted as if she were playing dumb.
She must have gotten the point across when she said I smelled like poverty. What can a little girl like you do? I won't accept your engagement, so give up on William and go home.
She didn't seem to be offended at all and didn't apologize for insulting me. On the contrary, his mother continued to verbally abuse me even more. I couldn't stand to be there any longer. So I spat out, "I see, I will leave here. So our engagement is off. Of course, I will terminate our business with your company." I told her this, but her mother, who did not know me at all, remained unconcerned.
What deal? I don't know what you're talking about.
Despite his mother's strength, William's face was obviously pale. It must have been a surprise even to him. However, my will was firmly set. No matter how much I loved William, I would never want to marry into a family with a mother like her. "I'm sorry, William. I'll return this ring." I took off the ring and put it on the table. Of course, I was expressing my intention to refuse the engagement with William once and for all. At this moment, I did not miss his mother's smirk and chuckle. I leave my own food and drink money behind and head in a straight line for the restaurant's doorway. William was trying to hold me back, but his mother was pulling on his arm to keep him from going to me. I left the coffee shop with this scene behind me. A few days later, my phone rang in the morning. I looked at the incoming call and saw an unknown number. I ignored it, but it left a voicemail. I listened to the recording and found it was William's mother. Her voice begged me to pick up the phone because she wanted to talk to me. I ignored it too and left it there. But his mother seemed desperate, and the phone kept ringing. When I came to, I had over 300 incoming calls in my call log. I was at work that day, so I left my phone ringing nonstop and concentrated on my work when that woman appeared in front of me again.
Grace.
It was William's mother. I was honestly surprised that she had come after all.
It's so harsh. How could you hide the fact that you were the president's daughter?
Her voice trembled as she came on to me. I told my father, the president of the company, everything that had happened that day. My father was furious and immediately contacted William's father to cancel the deal. We had just started doing business with William's company 3 months earlier. However, that was only the stage before a formal subcontracting agreement was signed. We were going to decide whether or not to enter into a formal contract after taking into account the sales and reputation of the products they had delivered. William, who was in charge of sales, had been working hard on this deal. But his mother, who had not been involved in the business at all, was unaware of William's efforts. The mother's foolishness the other day had resulted in the double whammy of her son's broken engagement and the loss of the company's best customers.
I had no idea that you were the company's daughter. I didn't realize that someone like that was William's girlfriend, huh?
So what? No matter who I was, I would never party on anyone. There is no reason for me to accept a change in attitude after learning of my position.
I apologize, but would you please reconsider this. I'm so sorry, please.
His mother bowed her head to me, a complete change from her flustered attitude the other day. But I told her clearly, it's too late for that. You are going to lose everything because of yourself, your husband, your son, your title as wife of the president. His mother froze at my words.
Yes, that. What do you mean?
After we left the coffee shop the other day, William had shaken off his mother and followed me. He then got down on his knees on the street, unnoticed, asking me to reconsider breaking off the engagement. He apologized in tears, and I accepted his apology, as it was not my intention to stop our relationship. Besides, it was not his fault to begin with. After that, he promised me that he would break off relations with his mother, and he told his own father about what had happened and that he was going to leave the house. When his father found out about this story, he too was angry at his own wife's foolishness and decided to divorce her rather than lose his son. In order to protect the company's business dealings and his son, William's mother was cut off from the loss. I explained to her the story that William had told me. She had not yet heard the story, and I could see her face turn pale all at once. That's probably true. The story had been going on without her. I told you, didn't I? I don't know if you regret it. I won't accept your apology, so please give up and go home. His mother clutched at my words, crying, but I shook her off and called store security to have her escorted out of the store. William's mother then went home, where she was told that her husband had divorced her and her son had insulated her from him. She cried and screamed and refused to get a divorce, but they were firm in their intentions and would not listen to any excuses. In the end, They were unable to avoid divorce, and she was evicted from the house on her own. After she was evicted, she showed up at my store several times, but I didn't deal with her at all each time and had the security guard kick her out. Eventually, she gave up and stopped showing up in front of me. And now I don't even know where she is or what she is doing. And now that William and I no longer have a mother who opposes us, we decided to officially proceed with the marriage. We decided to have our wedding next spring, and now we are both excitedly making plans. To be honest, the aftertaste is not good, but I am happy that I will be able to marry the man I love safely. I truly believe that I will cherish him more than anyone else, as he cut off his mother for me.